It's no secret that November is one of the most important months for gaming in the run-up to Christmas, as of course that's when the highest concentration of new releases tends to come out, and this year was no exception. We had some exceptional games come out this year in the month of November, and now we have the NPD report for that particular month. So, let's take a look. Overall, American consumers spent about $2.47 billion on new game software, hardware and accessories, and as always with NPD, this is at physical retailers in the US only, so it does not count worldwide, and it also does not count digital purchases or anything like that. So this is actually up a fairly comfortable 2% from 2014, where we spent about $2.42 billion, and unsurprisingly most of the growth came from hardware, which saw an increase in revenue despite some holiday price cuts. But let's have a bit of a breakdown, shall we? Hardware sales were actually about $1.12 billion, which is up a pretty nice 11% from the $1.2 billion last year. Software sounds impressive at $993.9 million, but that's actually a 7% decline from the $1.7 billion new games generated in November of last year. Finally, peripherals and interactive toys, so Skylanders, Disney Infinity, etc., grew 6% to $357.7 million from $336 million last year. Now, those of you who have been watching these reports will be fairly familiar with NPD analyst Liam Callahan. And here's what he had to say, quote, "According to NPD's checkout tracking, video games increased its share of spend on both Thanksgiving and Black Friday compared to last year, making it one of the top performing categories at retail over the holiday weekend." Now I'm sure some of you are wondering, but who came out ahead in this so key month of November? That's not to say that December isn't important, but there's not as many big game releases, so in terms of consoles, PlayStation 4 was once again the top selling console in November. However, the Xbox One did also have a strong month as well, and Microsoft did actually say separately that this was the best November ever for the Xbox One. And Liam Callahan said, quote, "November 2015 marked the best month ever in total unit sales when you combine Xbox One, PS4 and Wii U, surpassing the sales of December 2014 and November 2014. And then he moved on to the topic of software, and he said, quote, "Within console hardware sales, there are dramatic differences by console generation, as 8th generation consoles sales rose by 22% in dollars, and last generation sales dropped by 76% in dollars, which is sharper than the year-to-date decline of 57%. In November 2015, 8th generation sales had 93% share of overall hardware sales, a 9 percentage point increase from last November. After 25 months, the combined sales for the PS4 and the Xbox One are 47% higher than the combined sales for 25 months of PS3 and Xbox 360 hardware sales." So basically the uptake for these new generation consoles, whether it's PS4 or Xbox One or what have you, are doing pretty damn well when you compare them to their predecessors. As I said, 47% higher for the same amount of time passed for the PS3 and the Xbox 360, which is not too shabby at all. Now we've kind of skated around software, mentioned how it's done okay but worse than last year, but I'm sure you're wondering, well, what is the top 10? Well, surprisingly, Call of Duty Black Ops 3 is at number 1, just beating out Fallout 4 at number 2, Star Wars Battlefront is at 3, Madden NFL at 4, NBA 2K16 at 5, FIFA 16 at 6, Need for Speed at 7, Halo 5 Guardians at 8, Assassin's Creed Syndicate at 9, and Just Dance 2016. Now you may be noticing a rather important game that is just not on that list, and that being Rise of the Tomb Raider. Now, by all reports, it's an excellent game. From what I've seen, I haven't actually played it yet, I'm waiting for it to come out on PC, but from what I've seen, it looks damn good. More of the same, but that's not a bad thing. And yet it's not here, which just shows you the risk of making a multi-platform series, console exclusive, at least timed console exclusive anyway. And Liam Callahan addressed the software sales, saying, quote, "November 2015 was the best month for Xbox One, PS4 and Wii U software ever, exceeding the second best month of December 2014 by 34%, which is a pretty damn nice jump, as I'm sure you will agree." And Call of Duty Black Ops 3 was actually a big part of that growth. As I said, it actually outsold Fallout 4. However, if you look at Steam, Fallout 4 pretty much smashed Black Ops on PC digitally, but as I said, NPD just doesn't do digital sales. This is retail only, so do keep that in mind. What's further interesting is that Black Ops 3 actually sold better on the Xbox One than the PlayStation 4. And of course, this is probably because Call of Duty was always more popular on the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, and that trend is continuing despite Sony's rather aggressive marketing campaign with Black Ops 3. However, one small caveat is they did also have a Black Ops 3 bundle for the PS4, but those sales do not count towards this list, so yeah. So there you have it, that is the overall report for NPD physical retail sales in the US. As I said, physically, Call of Duty Black Ops 3 beat Fallout 4, but on PC at least, if you look at digital sales, Fallout 4 probably smashed everything into the ground, to be honest, in this particular month. We had some pretty damn big releases all throughout November, but Fallout 4 was probably one of the biggest. For me, one of the biggest was Legacy of the Void, but that's just me. I know I'm like one of those weird people, but still, a good month overall, and another victory for the PlayStation 4, but as I said, the Xbox One still had a great month. Be curious to see what happens in December. I still think we're going to get a lot of people perhaps buying last minute Christmas presents in December. Still getting people, you know, buying consoles, etc. Even if there's no games just coming out, you're still going to get a lot of pre-Christmas rush. So December is still pretty key, but this November report is probably the report of the year. Anyway, that's me done for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.